And a good afternoon to you from Okayama here in the Japanese southwest. It's a bit hilly here and it's a bit distant from the city centers of Fukuoka, for example, but we're still here to have some great racing nonetheless here as we now kick off the second half of the Formula Hololive Japan season. Welcome everyone here to Okayama for the Zako Cup of Formula Hololive Japan for the season 2025 here, and today we'll be racing here for the Okayama Grand Prix. So as we are going to get ourselves familiarized, we are going to be racing here in what is a fine racing circuit here in Okayama. It used to host Formula 1 racing in particular, especially in particular because we were there when lots of stories happened. And I just wanted to adjust things a bit while we also take a look into the target lap time here, 1:14.975 for all of these cars. I also wanted to add that we have like a new chassis that is going to be utilized from this round onwards, as the new JP class cars will be using the Dallara SF23 instead of the Dallara SF19, and the liveries have been slightly tweaked to better match the bright idol of it, the JP class. So anyway, this is the first of the CEO Zako Cup race of 2025, where we will decide who will be the Zako Cup winner and the CEO Cup winner. But today we'll be deciding this through two short races, where we will see who will have the most points out of this round out of the two races here in the Zako Cup. And I do want to say that things are okay, but we are just trying to sort out the kinks, if you will, because let me just double check if things are going to be okay or not. Right, so apologies if the standings look a bit weird, but I'm basically doing this on a shoestring budget. So hang on. So we're not going to be talking about the CEO Cup for now. We're mostly going to be talking about the Zako Cup. This is for those who basically did not qualify to the CEO Cup through regular means. So we have names like Chaka Labradores, Jeff Rohan, Blaza Domashnev, Ray Mark Rosales, Hanami Kiriko, Isakai J. Mikalev also joining on the fight. Hofumi, Kamina Riba, and then we have also some of the Flowglow and device recall drivers like Rudy, Shango, Joey, Ryu, and Dak Patterson, who has been a bit down after successive non-CEO qualifications. And then we also have the likes of Maverick Luciem. Now I want to say Rim Olgor, but it's actually Aqua Azuri. We haven't updated that one yet. I just want to see which of these names are that, because we're seeing like 20 cars on this one. Right. 65, 66, and 67. Okay, 1936, 50, 36, 57, 46, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. It now makes sense. We basically had a bit of a miscalculation on the size, so just wanted to check. Oh wait, hang on. So everyone will start with 0 points in the Zako Cup. Apologies if there's a bit of a scuff because I was literally chasing time. Just do a few more adjustments before we can properly start the Zako Cup run. Alright, we are almost done with the adjustments of the standings here. let me just Alright, so here are your 20 drivers here. Demosthenes, Fumi, Joey, Maverick DCM, Dap Patterson, Riley, Rudy, Tyler Williams, Shango, and Shango. They make up the split A non-CO qualifiers. And for the split B ones, Chaka Labradors is the first one that we have noticed. This is because Chaka obviously, how do you put this, did not qualify to the CO Cup through him essentially, wait, that's a bit too big. Anyways, we are not just going to just the sizing. Okay, so Chaka Labradores actually was beaten by Crystal Salman in the Zako Cup, in the CO Cup wildcard spots. So that is why you see, let me just, oh dear. Right, just wanted to do a bit of adjustments on the points here, and yeah, so nice to see we got viewers tuning in. So Chaka Labradors was beaten by Crystal Salman in the Zako Cup position, in the CO Cup wildcard positions on points. So this is why you see Chaka in the CO and not in the so this is why you see Chaka in the Zako, not in the CO. Joining him will be Sakaiji Mikalev, Kamina Riba. I want to say Rim Olgor, but hang on. I think we have a bit of an update as we have mentioned before. Let me just do this first. Let me just do one more adjustment here. That's just because I know this isn't right. That's not actually Rim Olgor. And let me just... Whoops, that's not how you spell... So anyways, you also have Aqua Zuri in the name here, representing Ozora Sbarno, Irina Nakamura, Hanami Kiriko, Renji Kaczynski, Callum Gibbons, Jeff Rohan, Ray Mark Rosales, and Lexi Bowen racing in the Zako as well. Right. We have wasted too much time in this introduction, so at this point we cannot waste any more time. Let's start the qualifying session now. So again, my name is Bonca in the commentary booth. Welcome everyone to the stream. As we are just going to also adjust the tower on this one. So we now have the first of the qualifying session underway for qualifying for race 1, and the first car out is actually, it's Irene Nakamura. Irene Nakamura is currently in the run for the CEO, Zako. Obviously she's at the high of winning Hololive GT3, but has been eliminated from contention after essentially being lackluster in the qualifiers. So this is why we see Nakamura currently down in the Zako right now. And also note that a lot of the drivers will be using carbon fiber helmets because the new helmets aren't ready in time for some of the drivers. Some drivers already have their new helmets complete, like Hofu Mi in car 36, also disappointed to not qualify for the CO Cup, but he will have to work his new magic as he tries to salvage something from the season. Same goes for Sakaji Mikalev in car number 35, Maverick DCM as well. Tyler Williams also not happy to qualify for only be good enough for the Zako, but he has to work with what he's got. So anyways, and let's go on board Tyler Williams for a lap here in Okayama. As you can see here, coming into the final corner, you're going to have a good run on from the final corner. A decently length front stretch into turn 1, into holding into third gear, and then coming into turn 2, which is the Williams corner, also a BSB corner. Get a good exit to get a good run onto the Moss S, and come to Atwood. Pretty heavy braking into turn 4, and then go for that late apex, if you will, for this very long back straight for Okayama standards. And now trying to mark out your braking zone into the hairpin. 100-meter board is your reference. And then treat these two next corners as a single section. Revolver and Piper hanging around in second gear. Downshift one gear after these two corners, and then a quick burst into Redmond. After the billboard, break it in. Hit the curves, follow the racing line, and then into Hobbs as well. Downshift into first gear. And then you can try to go a bit flat out here into Mike 9 if you try. And then great run into the final corner to set yourself up for the main straight, and that should be a lap here in Okayama. And also, I'd like to see these new cars though, as we see some drivers already setting lap times here. We see them only setting at 1:18.8. Some drivers already starting their lap, so we're gonna focus on some other entrants. We'll see the device cars who are using the older chassis as a reference to the newer GP class cars getting the newer chassis. And what we're seeing here is that hopefully me currently have pole position. Currently is in the 1:15.091. Currently on a side-by-side battle with Ray Liu. And he's not gonna be happy about his lap being messed up as a result. Yeah, so he might want to complain to the stewards about this, but they will have to see how it goes. Hang on. Pausing. Sorry. We had a pretty heavy disconnect, so that's why you are seeing, well, something like this. So we are gonna try to restart the qualifying session, as we now have a much calmer internet. And I also noticed that the Ozora Subaru number 48 only actually does not have the VTuber logo. So we are going to reset this qualifying session. So again, I'd like to apologize for this. Well, I haven't streamed Formula Hololive in a month, so that kind of explains things. But anywho, we are just going to let me just check, see if we can all right, so hang on as we try to do some adjustments. Don't worry, this won't take long. So the times will be reset, and qualifying session will be reduced to 5 minutes as a result. Again, apologies for if something like this would happen. So we're gonna try again on this qualifying session, as we are going to load the cars back in. So yeah, this is gonna take some time to have the cars load, but yeah, I can only apologize for this one. Been a bit busy these days, and when I do get home, I do get a bit tired. Let me see. Oh yeah, so we are going to reset qualifying. We're only gonna have 5 minutes this time, and just a bit of let me just get the session thing on. Make sure everyone has the right logos and stuff. Yep, we have Aquazuri now having the Subaru badge, Subaru VTuber logo on the side. It's Rika, Raden, Riona, and Chaya. Oh yeah, and Polka doesn't have it. Give me a second. Can Cancel. Apologies if I have to reset one more time because the Polka card does not have the logo. Alright, we're trying this again. Loading is gonna take a while. Oh man. Alright, we're back. Let me just double check once again. Okay, looks like everything is a go this time. We will immediately get ourselves into 5 minutes of qualifying. We literally have 0 time to waste now. Right. So, just wanted to check it. So, Hofumi does set the time of the best, like a 1:15.0 before we had to reset the qualifying session twice or thrice. Again, if you're here, if you're just watching, we have just reset the qualifying session due to the liveries not being complete in some of the cars, so we had to do some quick fixes, so apologies for that. But this will mean that everyone will have reset their time, so this will give some drivers a second chance to try to reset their car setup and get themselves further forward, as we are now seeing Calvin Gibbons having some success in Formula Hall of Japan, or with his, I believe it's 2 wins, but we'll need to double check on that. So Gibbons has only won 1 race actually, and he's won the Outright Grand Prix at Fuji in his competitive debut, no less. So he's continuing his streak so far. He has continued his streak of winning. He's continued his streak of winning in his competitive debut, in a series competitive debut. So he won in Osara Subaru in CDL's inaugural Hololive race, the Hololive GT3 Link Your Wish Split A Race 1. And then he's won the Outright Grand Prix at Fuji. I believe it was split. Yeah, it was split B. He won split B. And then in the holotype, he won the Colorwise Harmony 5 hours at Fuji split C. So he is looking to find his spark back, representing Roboco, obviously not making the Tsuyo and Zako in both Formula Hololive and Hololive GT3, but he has made the Tsuyo in a holotype, and is actually true to Gibbo's recent developments actually, as he does also compete in Okayama Racing's LMU, Le Mans Ultimate Sim Racing Series, where he enters the hypercar class, and he's actually very good at it. So that is basically a testament to Cal Gibbons' ability, as we now see the first lap times being set. Hopefully continues to set the pace, and would you look at that, Cal Gibbons has provisional pole. currently setting a 1:16.025. We'll see if he's able to have his competitors match his time. Aquazuri, meanwhile, will only be good enough for 4th place. Tyler Williams goes up in a 1:15.442. We'll see which of these other drivers will set their lap times. Raja Kaczynski is about to cross the line. Ray Gonzalez is currently in 6th. Shongo is in 3rd. Nakamura will be qualifying in 4th. Raja Kaczynski in 8th. Meanwhile, we're going to see Chaka Labradors cross the line, and he will only be good enough for 5th. Vlasa Damashev, on the other hand, is going to cross the line for his first laps here in Okayama. And Fumi has went off. It looks like he made contact with another car. Might need to check what happened here. Tries to go down the inside. Oh no, it's another one of the car being flipped there, and that is what happened. It's hopefully being flipped around. So Cal Gibbons is going to abort his lap. He will at least guarantee himself a starting. He will at least guarantee a very decent position. His position in the front row not yet set in stone. Dak Patterson only good enough for 16. Hanami Kiriko only good enough for 16th. Concerning times for the Lunettes right now, as Kiriko hasn't been at the races so far. Joey only 15th. Lexi Bowen only in 11th. With 10 seconds left of this qualifying. This means... let me check here. We'll see if there are any more times being improved. Jeff Rohan now goes up into 12th. Shongo does not beat Callum Gibbons' second place time, as Nakamura does. 1:15.925 for the Akai Hato driver. Rajazinski 9th place. Hanami Kiriko is currently behind Dak Patterson, who is currently in 20th place, but you can see here Kiriko has already found time on that second sector. She might be seeing some improvements here. Damashev only good enough for 14th place, but she is losing some time to Dak Patterson, but Dak Patterson is also improving. Also, really watch out for him, as well as these 3 drivers are currently down in the bottom 3. And Kiriko goes up into 6th, Patterson 15th, Ryu 17th. Please scratch that. Kiriko is in 6th. Last cars in the grid here, as we will see the last cars crossing the line, and we will seal it. First pole position on the debut of the new SF23 chassis. Tyler Williams is your pole sitter for race 1 of the Okayama of the Okayama Grand Prix. All right, let's not waste too much time here. Let's take a look into the starting lineup here for race 1. Tyler Williams in the Amane car time number 57 will start on pole position alongside Irie Nakamura, 2nd for Hachama. Cal Gibbons 3rd for Roboco, who is looking for his first win since 2023. Sean Go is looking for his win for Irichigo Ririka. Chaka Labradors, Nasser Matsuri team not having the time of their lives. Well, let's just hope that they're able to find some improvements here. As also Hanami Kiriko looking to redeem herself from the disappointment that was not qualifying for the CEO Cup, given the somewhat big expectations. Hofumi for Tokinosora will start 7th, with Isekai Jimikalev 8th for Mikochi. And then we also have Hana Aquazuri 9th for Ozura Subaru, with 10th place Raiji Kaczynski for Yusuke Choko. And that was under your top 10. 11th place of Maverick DCM for Omar Polka, with Dak Patterson, Lexi Bowen 12th for Shishiro Ganinol. And we got Jeff Rohan 13th for Tokyo Mitoa, with 14th Raymond Rosales for Shishiro Botan. Dak Patterson starts 15th for Rindo Chihaya, with 16th place Vlasa Damashnev for Aki Rosenthal. We do start 17th for Isaki Riona, with 18th place Kamine Riba for Shishiro Botan. 19th place Joey for Jufuteraden, and Rudy will start last for Mizumiya Su. Alright, so we are just going to see if there are any good cameras here, and turns out we do have some good cameras shots here as the safety car now peels in to the pit lane. We now have the cars lined up on the grid. And now we are set for race 1 here of the Okayama Grand Prix for the 2025 Zako's Cup opener. It is Ari Nakamura alongside. And we are off for the start. Tyler Williams has a very good launch here. And it looks to me that everyone is going to survive turn 1 with no problem. It's right here. Some drivers really trying to stretch the track limits here. Cal Gibbons and Shango go side by side between each other as they now come into Atwood. More drivers going side by side. That's Kiriko and Mikolev going side by side. Almost contact between the two. Gibbons retains third place. As now Chaka Labrador is going to try to make it move down the inside. On Shango. It's now Williams leading Nakamura, and then we got Gibbons, and then go Labradors in 5th, Kiriko and Mikolev in 6th, as Labradors go toe-to-toe with Shango. Fumi in 8th, Jasinski beats Aqua Zuri for 9th, UCM beats Rainbow Results for 12th place right now, but number 4 Results fights it back around the outside. The first lap is about to be completed. Mikolev has almost beaten Kiriko, but Kiriko is going to give it an absolute fight here as they now come into Mike Knight. Labradores tries to make a move down the inside, but nothing coming off of the Natsura driver. Oh, he goes off just a bit, and that's going to open the door for Hanami Kiriko to make the pass, and for everyone else to bunch up. Okumi is now going to try to make a move down the inside onto Isakaji Mikolev, and he does make the move, almost hits too much of the curb, but then it allows Mikolev to fight back with a great exit on turn 1. Great switchback move from Mikolev to retain the position. Already lots of frantic action on the first lap already. No pit stops expected as this is a super sprint format. Every single one of these drivers will be running on this set of field until the pairing ends. So it's all about your racecraft, how you manage your tires, and basically what's your mindset for this race. Do you want to build a gap but lose pace right at the end, or do you try to conserve and then go for that late race push? Has made the move against Vlasa Demashnev, the Zako Series winner of Hololive GT3. Aqua Zuri doing pretty decently in 10th place for Ozara's car so far, making her competitive debut in ARO competitions. Definitely an exciting thing to look forward to, and of course the number 48 cars are now running the Shuba RT program, the Shuba Racing Team program, which is essentially a racing program owned by Aqua Zuri herself. She has, as we mentioned before, she has programs across the VTuber racing projects. And of course we also have there's just so many things that we can talk about, that will be too off topic for this certain topic, but for here, she has all of the Ozora Subaru cars, and she is set to represent Subaru in all 3 of the competitions. Azuri trying to find a way down the inside of Raijin Kaczynski, but hasn't been able to get into the end of things as Vlasa Demashnev has an engine failure, I believe. We'll see what happened to the Mashnev, and if you do want to know what happened to him, I think he is our first casualty of this race, and yep, that's a huge amount of smoke on that engine, and that is the Mashnev being the first of the casualties here in the Okayama Grand Prix Race 1. Tyler Williams continues to control, but Callum Gibbons is hot on the heels of the leading 2 drivers. But anyways, Chaka Labrador is currently running in 6th place. Is trying to catch Hanami Kiriko after that mistake that he's had at the end of lap 1. And we'll see if Labrador is able to line up or go down the inside. Now that the drivers are currently falling down between each other. Alright, so we'll see how it looks from this point on, but we also want to talk about a bit about form. And when it comes to form, no one is actually much stronger than Chaka Labradorus, who was in the wildcard positions, the only driver in the wildcard positions in the Zako Cup. But as we have mentioned before, Chaka did not make the CO by the sole virtue of him accruing less points than the previous ASCII driver, so Salman. And of course, if you look into their qualifiers points here, Labradors only scored 286 because Salmon scored 338. Both of them finished 11th in their respective qualifier split standings. But, oh, and that is Raymond Gonzalez also out of this race, as we have noticed. Sorry, my eyes are off the screen because, sorry about that. Raymond Gonzalez out of this race after he got a rollover. I was focused on taking a look at the standings. Sorry about that. But anyways, as you saw in the replay though, Raymond Gonzalez having a massive rollover, and that's not going to do him very well for his CO Cup campaign. But this is only for race 1, and I mean, we don't see a lot of damage. While he is retired from this race, not being allowed to continue at this point on. From this point on. Oh, Chaka will at the very least, sorry, not Chaka, I mean Raymond Gonzalez will at the very least try to get this car fixed and to set up the car for race 2. Again, 5 minutes of qualifying as well. Speaking of which, Hanami Kiriko is about to be under pressure from Chaka Labradorus once again. Alright, how many more drivers already retired in this race? Well, only 2 so far. Lexi Bowen now trying to chase Aqua Azuri for 10th place. And right now, currently on form, not so much on form, but he is trying to fight back. But then you look back at the other split A contenders, and you notice here Vlasa Tomashev and Hofumi actually scored more points than Chaka Labradorus, and of course Homi's down in 8th as well. He's also the favorites to try to win the Zako Cup after what we saw in qualifiers. Being the first driver out of the picture in the CO Cup, and we'll see how these 3 will be able to we'll see how they will work as far as Zako Cup order. What's next on the list? Cam Gibbons losing touch to Nakamura and Williams. Well, this is mainly because of one thing. Gibbons actually has had a slower lap than Williams and Nakamura, so he's still able to pull away from here right now. Speaking of which, we do have a battle here of sorts. Kiriko trying to defend 5th place. Kiriko is able to hang on, but Labrador with the left and Fumi currently in this battle for 5th place sorts. We're just checking here. We do have some drop frames, but we're still okay. Meanwhile, Iron Nakamura has had a slightly faster lap than Tyler Williams. 1:15.6. Gibbons hovering at a 1:17, so he is going to pull away. So that is that at the moment so far. Alright, oh, and Chaka Labradorus has gone off. I do notice that Chaka Labradorus has went off, and I think we have somewhat jinxed him. And here's what happened to Chaka. It's her way too hard and got into a rollover. And that is Chaka Labradorus out of this race. Tries to make a move down the inside on Hanami Kiriko. Yep, that is what happened to Chaka. So Chaka will be joining Raymond Rosales and Vlad Tomashev on the sidelines. So that is a very unfortunate thing to see for one of the most promising. Another one of the promising drivers in ARO competitions. Alright, so Jeff Rohan is also in the pits here, and it looks to me that it is another one of the retirements. Looks like we have another driver who has essentially had issues, and if you do want to see what happened to Jeff Rohan, yep, here is what happened. He's got another engine failure, and that will be our... Oh dear. I pressed the pits button by accident, so now we're gonna have to deal with the penalty. Controls are locked for X seconds, and yep, it stacks. So yep. So apologies, we have to do this as well. So this is only going to be temporary, as we are just going to continue on with this race. So we still have Williams now leading for this race. So we'll be up for the next 20 minutes. And looking into the remaining 16 cars, there are still trying to find something here. Cal Gibbons hasn't been convincing in the battle for the top two. Kiriko now has one last car to deal with. Hofumido is trying to catch up to his fellow gen mate, Isakaji Mikalev, for 6th place. Which means that we won't be seeing any more mechanical retirements left, as Hofumi tries to go down the inside. And Kamen Rider also is down here as well. Alright, just wanted to remind you that, oh, speaking of which, we do want to check on to Kamen Rider, and we have another one of the cases where a car has flipped. This time he is about through his own genmate. Kamen Rider goes down the inside and flips his car. More retirements due to flips, and we are going to confirm the non-point scorers. Oh yeah, speaking of which, about joining aero competitions, I do want to give a bit of a disclaimer that the whole idea of the organization is basically check the responses first. The entire point of the organization is that it's actually you register and then you have the AI run the race for you. So basically, if you do want to actually race, like sim race with this one, we are still opening up the we're still trying to open up the how do we call it? But we're trying to open up a real sim racing event, if we will. But right now it's not possible due to the lack of entrants and a lack of another suitable host to host multiplayer racing. But if you do want to join the organization anyway, I've shared the link already in the chat. So here I've already dropped the link just to basically remind everyone about how you can join the organization. So fill in the forms, and then I will try to add you once there is a response. But anyways, we do now have 15 cars remaining for the drivers outside of the top 10. It is still a pretty okay affair. We do have Relu being under pressure from Joey and Rudy. And I do want to point out that the device class cars are using the older spec SF19, which are faster than the SF23. However, they are given a 70 kilo ballast to be in line with similar performance levels with the newer chassis. Think of it as LMP2 with the hypercar performances and all that stuff. Still checking on how this race has progressed so far. This time we'll be focusing on our driver, Aquazuri, who's currently running in 9th place. Now under pressure from Lexi Bowen and Maverick DuCM, and now we're seeing DuCM trying to make a move onto Lexi Bowen. Oh yeah, speaking of which, as far as openings are concerned, there may be some openings that may pop up in the organization whenever the opportunity arises. And how do we put this? If let's say there's a new gen, Hololive gen coming around, we will be utilizing reserves to full effect, as we now see Maverick DuCM trying to make a move around the outside against Lexi Bowen. That's a pretty bold move around the outside for Maverick DuCM to get into the top 10. Still sticks around the top 10. since Redmond Piper, and that's a massive flip from Lexi Bowen. And that's gonna guarantee her just a single point. It was a move well done by Maverick Duciem. Sticks around the outside against Lexi. But now we have Lexi Bowen out of this race after a flip. So she is gonna be out so far. And yeah. So Lexi Bowen will be dropping down into the final points position. Continuing on the process, or rather continuing on this race, we now have 14 cars remaining. Still pretty good as far as attrition goes. You don't see the odd flip here or there after they hit the curve way too hard. Yuaho Fumi tries to go down the inside onto Nicola, but the distance is just too great. So Fumi isn't gonna be able to challenge yet. Alright, so what is next in this race? Fumi trying to see if he's able to catch Mingalev, but he is slower than Mingalev on that last lap. So that is not going to so far, so we'll just pay attention to see if there's any updates. You also have Joey trying to chase Ri Liu. Both drivers next to each other. Right, let me see what's next. Azuri trying to find a way past Raijin Kaczynski for 8th place. Still nothing so far from the Ozar Subaru driver in her first competitive fixture, her first competitive race here in Formula Hololive. And of course her opponents are currently Raijin Kaczynski and Maverick Duciem. The goal is to get past Kaczynski for a move into 8th place, but right now there's still not a pretty big gap between the two. So there's not much more that can be done so far yet. Right, and now we are taking a look into Aqua Azuri, trying to make a move around the outside onto Kaczynski, but the move... Actually, we actually have 3. Raymond Rosales had a roll, and then we also have Kaminari Ripa, and then we have Lexi Bowen on having a roll, and now you can see here, Aqua Azuri now under pressure from Maverick Duciem with another outside move here. Duciem is now up into 9th. Great stuff there, as Duciem is currently on the rise. Speaking of which, let's take a look into the progress charts. So we got the response already. We'll get into contact for anyone who is interested into joining the organization. Well, I'll probably settle it after race 1. Right. So, what's next on this race so far? Duciem currently now on the charge on Raijin Kaczynski, but Aqua Azuri is ready to fight back though with a move down the inside. The Ozora Subaru driver is going to try to line up a move. And and breaks pretty decently, keeps the line tidy, makes it the outside line at Redmond and Revolver and Piper, but you could see here DuCM really sticks that inside line, but he has overcooked it. Now he's going to open the door for Aqua Azuri. This might end in tears if Azuri doesn't handle this rightly. And it looks like she's able to hang on for now. Tries to stick around the outside. And holds up a very good exit. They're now still side by side into Mike Knight and into the final corner. Oh, DuCM trying to stretch that car to as much as he can in front of Azuri. It's going to cause some troubles for Azuri though, as Azuri is going to try to go at it again. It's a late move down the inside. Great stop there from Aqua Azuri so far, as Azuri is now going to try again later. Speaking of which, we are going to see if there are any more developments here. Kaczynski still stays in 8th. Is going to relish the opportunity that Azuri and DuCM are having, because they are now losing time to Kaczynski. Kaczynski can at least have a breather to stay in 8th place. Meanwhile, Hanami Kiriko has stayed in 5th place for as long as she can right now, absorbing the pressure from Isakaji Mikolev and Hofu Mi, as we are now coming into the halfway stage of race 1. Alright, and now we're just gonna see here Mikolev going down the inside here. This time this might end in tears. It's another rollover from the number 35. The elite Ponkotsu moment happens with Isakaji Mikolev hitting the curb way too hard at Atwood Corner. Atwood Corner has already claimed another victim. The high curves in Okayama have proven to be pretty lethal so far in this weekend. And Aqua Azuri's off as well! 2 rollovers in the span of 15 to 20 seconds. Here's what happened to Aqua Azuri. We got 5 Rolala moments, as someone in the chat has already subscribed. As you can see, Aqua Azuri hits the curve pretty incorrectly and goes on its roof and on its side. And that is Aqua Azuri out. Will join Isakaji Mikolev, but will have the added, what do we call? Oh, and then Nakamura though, trying to go down the inside onto lap cars. That lap car is, of course, Ryu and Rudy, who's currently running into the bottom places here. Azuri and Mikolev will be set to finish 13th and 14th respectively, so decent amount of points to kick off their campaigns. Well, that's the one positive that they can carry right now. Nakamura trying to go down the inside of the lap car, but the lap car obviously causing trouble right now. Tyler Williams, meanwhile, is very much happy to have these lap cars be a pick for Nakamura, as Nakamura gets stuck behind. Nakamura now tries to force her way. Yep, Aqua Azuri, we can tell how she felt after her rollover. But the consolation is that she will be bringing home a few points here, 8 points to be exact. So it's not really the end of the world, given that she's lasted longer than some of the other drivers. There might be a technical directive to be sent after this, but for Aqua Azuri, it's not over yet, because there's still race 2 coming up. Speaking of which, speaking of which, we do still have 12 cars remaining in this race. Rudy is now going to try to make a move down the inside against his fellow Flowglow teammate, Ri Liu, as lap cars are now really starting to come to fruition, as they are now coming into the back of, as you now see Callum Gibbons coming into the back of the 2 lap cars right now. Ducian also trying to get into Raijin Kaczynski. It's a race of survival of sorts, as we see Ducian now trying to make something happen on that number 46 machine. And we are just going to continue on what has been a pretty promising race right now. So yeah, it's been a mess, but you can argue the fact that it's also pretty entertaining as well. Let's not back on track ourselves, as we are still gonna need to focus on this race. Hopefully me trying to make a way past Hanami, and Kiriko's done a very good job though, soaking the pressure from the veteran drivers, trying to gain more experience in the Himori Luna camp. The Lunites obviously very disappointed to have Luna miss out on both the CEO series and the Holotype, and also the informal Hololive from a lackluster campaign since Shadrin Reza has left the team in 2024. And right now Fumi is going to be hoping for something against Kiriko, but Kiriko does have the lucky faster lap than Kiriko right now. Right, so we are going to continue on as usual. Tyler Williams is currently dominating so far. If you do want to know a bit of a fun fact, let me check. If you look into Hanata's record in Formula Hololive's list of race winners, there's actually none. So Tyler Williams is currently on course to win for Amane Kanata as well, which would put him among the list who won in all 3 series, which is Hololive GT3, Holotype, and Formula Hololive. So, we do have multiple interests. We do have multiple, multiple instances where these drivers will be on for a very decent time, and I am going to be pointing out that I am going to be rightly pointing out upon the likes of Callum Gibbons, who have won in all 3 of the aero competitions, Hall GT3, Formula Hall, and Holotype. I am trying to find another example where a driver has won in all 3. And right now, there is not much of an option, there's not much of a choice here at the moment. Right, we are still, trying to see the thing here with these drivers. Chongo also slowly catching up to Cam Gibbons to try to disrupt the top 3. It's getting very close so far. Kiriko has been defending against Hofumi since the start of this race. Well, absent a few laps at the start of this race, Kiriko is still hoping that she's able to remain in the top 5 to at least open up the Zako scoring. Of course, trying to emulate what Sharon Reza did in 2023 by winning a Formula Hololive trophy for him and Maria Luna. And that was when Sharon Reza won the overall title for him and Maria Luna, being the most consistent through the entire period of the season. And right now we do have some calming down moments as we are coming into the latter stages of this race. It is already pretty much deep into the evening here in Japan. Hofumi in that Sora number 36 trying to chase Hanami Kiriko in the Himori Luna number 31. And here is Mavidu CM continuing his comeback, this time making pass onto Raiji Kazuki after using the lap car of... Hang on, just wanted to check Dak Patterson as a pick. So we now have a few of the device cars. They all still survive, but they are currently a lap down, so they are trying to wager on this on the attrition aspect of this race to try to get some points at least. But you can't deny how good DCM has been so far. He has gained a lot of positions since the start. Started in 11, has now gained 4 positions. He's now up into 7. For those who started at the back, especially for Rudy and Ryu and Joey, they started well at the back and they have gained a lot of positions after making use of the attritional situation that they have been seeing so far. Joey is close to being lapped here. Oh no, he's already been lapped. Dak Patterson is at the very least keeping tabs with DCM and Kaczynski. Sorry, Dak, I forgot to remind myself that Dak is not a lap car. All right. Right, we are now coming close to 30 laps complete. Tyler Williams in great control so far. Alright, Hofumi still trying to penetrate Kiriko's defense, and right now it hasn't been the case so far. It's been a massive stalemate for all but 4 cars right now. Okay, 5, because we are also seeing Shango already catching up to the lap car of Rudy and Ryu. And they all use the same car, which of course is also a talking point. So let me see. Hofumi against Hanami Kiriko. Kiriko done a very good job to stay in 5th place so far. Right now they are currently in their own battles, and speaking with Kiriko is also caught up to Shango right now. So there is essentially a new development currently afoot in the and we are seeing some potential moves there. Rudy against Ray Liu here, and this might open the door for Kiriko and Fumi to make a move into P4 as well, because Shango is stuck behind lap traffic. We will see how it goes for these 5 drivers. 2 battles in 2 different laps, and Kiriko now goes down the inside against Shango, and Shango is getting schooled there by Kiriko, who goes down the inside and hops, and now into Mike Knight. Kiriko almost makes the move, stick, and unfortunately she hasn't been able to make it stick. And let's see if she's able to get a good exit. 4 cars will be benefiting this division, including Shango and Kiriko, so there's a bit of a balancing out. Kiriko tries to make the late braking into turn 1, has to back off. And now we get to see Hofumi now making a move down the inside again. Himemori Luna, that's a flip from Hofumi. You saw the nose camera and a slam into the wall, and as Hofumi guarantees himself a finish into 12th place. And now we'll see the replay onto what Hofumi did. And you can see he hit the just tries to. Ah, man. Hang on. So we'll see the onboard again. Doesn't hit Kiriko this time. And that is Hofumi out of this race, and essentially guaranteeing himself 12th. And that will be it'll be pretty much music to the ears of those who are still running in this race, especially for Rudy Ryu, Marie Liu, Joey, and Dak Patterson, Raja Kaczynski, because they will be hopping up another position after that retirement. Hanami Kiriko, meanwhile, is still staying in 4th place, finding a way past now the lap cars, as now Kiriko goes up into 4th. Making use of Hofumi's mishap to get herself into 4th. And she now tries to go down the inside against Rudy. And now Kiriko tries to really stick it around the outside, but she needs to clear Rudy as soon as possible. They're both side by side. This may end in tears for the Himemori Luna driver. Still keeps it tidy. Try to get a good exit off of Atwood as they still go side by side. And as you can see, Kiriko now goes down the inside against Rudy just to get herself clear of Shango right now, still running in 5th place. We have 10 laps to go here in race 1, and we still don't know how it will be resolved. And now we are seeing Kiriko now going down the inside onto Liu, as we now see Kiriko go down the inside. Almost ends in tears for the Luna number 31. She knows that she needs to at least cross the finish line, as she has had a history of not making it at the end multiple times already in her career. She at least wants to try to finish. And I think it was because of her streak of DNS, which costed Himamori Luna a spot in the CEO and the Zako actually. So that's another big whammy. And now Kiriko has cleared the lap car. She's now free to focus on her own race. Well, Rudy against Rilu, that battle is not over. Rudy trying to line up a move against Rilu, who are now in a battle for the top 10 after retirements. Joey is doing very well though to stay somewhat relevant in 9th place. Meanwhile, we are taking a look into the live gas between Nakamura and Williams, and lo and behold, Nakamura and Williams have already caught on to Dak Patterson, and Dak Patterson has already gone a lap down. And now Tyler Williams is trying to make something happen. Rudy also trying to find a way past Rilu. And now Rudy's gonna try to make a move down the inside, and he almost does. He almost gets close enough. While Nakamura is stuck behind Dak Patterson, that might decide the winner. Williams, meanwhile, is also going to be dealing with another lap car, and that's Raijin Kaczynski down in 7th place. And now Williams really getting close though onto Kaczynski right now. Meanwhile, Nakamura against Patterson. Patterson leaves a bit of space, but still causes some trouble for Nakamura. Right, so we now have 35 laps complete. Still, well, there's not long left in this race now, at least for race 1. But we are just pointing out some interesting tidbits here. Williams has now pulled the gap to 6 seconds against Nakamura. Nakamura is still stuck behind Dak Patterson right now. Tyler Williams, meanwhile, has already caught on to Raijin Kaczynski, who is faster than Patterson, and which is also key in allowing Williams to retain his lead by building a gap. UCM, meanwhile, against Shang Go. UCM now goes side by side as Shang Go desperately trying to keep himself in that top 5. Meanwhile, we also have Rudy defending against Rilu very well, as you saw on the onboards. Will there be a last gas dive? No, is the answer. Alright, so we are now at 37 laps complete. 5 laps to go here for race 1 of the Okayama Grand Prix. And still outside of the leaders who have already made their way into who have already settled their positions. We now have Duciemdo against Shango into turn 1, or rather into the hairpin corner. Duciemdo almost makes it done. And tries to go around the outside. Oh! Almost had it going into the gravel trap there, as we now see more side-by-side battles here. That's Raja Kaczynski also joining in with Maverick CM. Tyler Williams is now stuck behind this battle as well, which is going to be crucial. Tyler Williams also gets pushed off by Raja Kaczynski. Raja Kaczynski still keeping a nose about it. Tyler Williams has a bad exit, and that will allow Kaczynski to basically go for a move to unlap himself. Nakamura is hearing this in the news now that she's already cleared Dak Patterson. She now has the license to try to bring Hachima her first Formula Hololive win. We're going to see probably a very dramatic final set of laps here in race 1 of the Okayama Grand Prix, as Williams now tries to clear Maverick, tries to clear, I believe that's Ryu, as he is now alongside Shango once again. He's already cleared Ducien, he's already cleared Kaczynski. Nakamura is now trying her absolute best to close in on the Tyler Williams' gap, as now we get to see more side-by-side action as we now see Shango trying to stay in 5th, clearing the lap car of Liu, and keep himself on the lead lap as well. Williams meanwhile is stuck behind the lap car of, that's Liu, who's about to go 2 laps down. Liu, will he make it difficult for Williams? Yes, he does. You see the difference in speed between Williams and Nakamura. Nakamura's already gained 3 seconds a lap, and now she is currently hot on the heels of Tyler Williams. And right now Nakamura is now chasing on the lap cars. Williams meanwhile already is side by side with Ryu once again to send him 2 laps down. But again, Ryu makes it very difficult for Williams. But I think this just might be it. Tyler Williams has forced Ryu into a mistake, and now he has open air in front of him, which might actually give him the opportunity to win his first Formula Hololive race for Amane Kanata. In what has been a very solid campaign for Williams so far. 2 wins in Hololive GT3, 1 in Holotype, and soon enough 1 in Formula Hololive if he does manage to stay where he is at the moment. It's the penultimate lap of the Okayama Grand Prix Split or rather Zako Cup race 1. Williams now pretty much under control here, with the gaps opening up even more. Nakamura is now the next driver to try to fend off the lap cars. Line up a move against these lap cars, but at this point she knows that her battle with Williams is now pretty much done and dusted. Williams will cross the line to start the final lap of race 1. And what development it has been. Cal Gibbons will at least score a podium finish from where he is at the moment. Tyler Williams will open up in the best way possible his campaign in the Zako Cup with a win. Kiriko will at least bring home her best finish in aero competitions with 4th place, with her remaining in the fight, with her remaining in the race at the very least. Shongo will get 5th for Ichijo Rika. Duciem will get 6th for Polka. Kaczynski 7th for Yuzuki Choko. The seasoned driver keeps doing it again. Dak Patterson will at least bring home 8th for Rindo Chihaya, with Joey 9th for Jufute Raden, with 10th place Rudy for Mizumiyasu, and then 11th place Ryu Erisaki Riona. Because we got Fumi 12th, 13th will be this one, but that doesn't matter. Tal Williams looks like the fallen angel does it again. Amane Kanata always on the up, and so does Tyler Williams, with him crossing the line to give Kanata win number 4 in aero competition this year. Tyler Williams wins race 1 of the Okayama Grand Prix. Nakamura will be set to at least finish 2nd, with Carz finishing on 3 different laps. UCM 6, Kaczynski 7, Patterson 8, Ryu in 11th. Gibbons will not have much of a lap to go to try to bring home a podium finish for Roboco. As we are now finally allowed to readjust. Let me see here. The thingy. And now we can see here. Kiriko finally looking to score 4th place. Shongo not far behind, as well as Rudy. As now we can see Rudy and Shongo about to cross the line as well. We will be officially logging in the results. And that being said, let's congratulate Tyler Williams for his race 1 win here in Okayama. But we still have 1 more race to go. And of course we have the likes of... wait a second. Hanami Kiriko doesn't finish this one. She finished 3rd. Alright, 2nd place would be Airi Nakamura. Of course, getting her another good podium for Hachama. To try to bring home what is currently an amazing season for Hachama so far. Cal Gibbons 3rd for Roboco, Kiriko 4th for Luna, Shongo 5th for Reika, Mavriducia rounds at 6th for Polka, with 7th place Raji Kaczynski for Choco. Dak Patterson finishes 8th for Shihaya, with 9th place Jufute Raden and Joey. And then we got Rudy and Mizumiyasu rounding out the top 10. We leave in 11th for Isaki Riona. He's the last of the finishers in this race. Race 1, that is. Hopefully 12th for Sora. We got Isakaji Mikolev 13th. Aquazuri 14th. And I would need to double check here. Looks like Isakaji Mikolev is officially further up ahead than Isakaji Mikolev. So looks like the points will be swapped. So Isakaji Mikolev 13th. Aquazuri 14th. Lexi Bowen 15th. And I got 16th, Kaminari Riba, Czech Labrador 17th, Jeff Rohan 18th, Rema Arzales 19th, and Vlasa Damashev rounding up the 20-car finishers for this Zako Cup. Right, so we are going to do a bit of a replay saving first, as well as a line adjustment. So, with that being said, let's take a look into the current championship standings so far, as we are going to show you the spreadsheets. Nothing wrong with using the spreadsheets if you want to actually show the thing here. So anyways, we got Tyler Williams now leading the standings over Airi Nakamura. We got Callan Gibbons 3rd, basically the results of race 1, as we actually managed to get the results actually counted towards. So that's actually nice. So so basically your top 15 will be the ones who will be in top 15 in the standings for the first race. So as you can see here, title winners Ari Nakamura and Calgimus running out the top 3. Hanami Kiriko and Sean Go joined them in the top 5. Ducian Kaczynski, Patterson, Joey, and Rudy make up the top 10. Really, Hofumi, Sakaji Mikalev, Aquazeri, and Lexi Bauer rounded the remaining points finishers. And with that being said, I would like to actually announce a short actually might not want to announce a 5-minute break yet, but we do want to actually get ourselves immediately ready for race 2. So here are your points so far based on the results of race 1, and now we are going to get ourselves ready for race 2. And thank goodness the thing actually does count. So with that being said, we now are going to get ourselves ready for qualifying for race 2. But first I want to do some but first of all, the drivers are going to do some pretty justifiable briefing to really avoid the curbs in some parts of the track, because they just continue to essentially roll over at the same area. So we are going to do some adjustments to basically the racing line as well, you know, just to tell the drivers that you can't go off at the same place once again. But anyways, we are now back onto the track. We are now at 4 minutes before the end of this qualifying session, especially for race 2. We'll see what dynamics have changed. The vice class car, of course, Rudy is up there. Which we won't be going for another onboard lap here. So right now Aquazuri is gonna see if she can try to mount a comeback. She will see if she can get herself a pole position. And we now see lots of drivers now coming out of the track to start their laps. Jeff Rohan is now coming into here, and now we are seeing drivers now getting in their laps in. Joey 18206 so far on the first sector. Let's focus on to another one of the drivers, Aquazuri. So let's talk about what do we call it? As you mentioned before about Aquazuri. Aquazuri, of course, has been a very solid driver. Of course, has already acquired the 3 cars for aero competitions from Ozora Spartan, and put it under her own umbrella. Shiba RT, Shiba RT team, who basically operate and maintain these cars. Let's speak which, we are seeing a bit of a benchmark time here. Results 1:16.315. Aquazuri 1:15.757. Looks to me that's a very quick lap time for the Ozora Subaru driver, as Azuri is going to try to make her dreams to win a race for Ozora Subaru real. More drivers completing their laps. Shongo 7th place. Skyji Mikalev in 5th. Rudy in 9th place. Chaka Labrador is now up into 3rd. And meanwhile, we're also going to be taking a look into Dak Patterson. So we are seeing not much of a device class car making a showing here. Patterson, meanwhile, is going to try to exit the final corner with a decent amount of speed. And he's only good enough for 11th place. So Aquazuri isn't going to be gaining more time anytime soon, as she's now behind Mamadou CM and Irie Nakamura, who are mid-pack. Well, at least she's still on pole position by about... And the gaps between the two is either Zuri is faster than Gibbons by 0.2 of a second here. And looking at the overall times here, we are checking. Narumi Kiriko is only going to be set to qualify 13th now. And she's now... Oh, and she's had a big rollover at the end of qualifying. That's going to send the Luna number 31 out of qualifying, so she will not qualify as high as higher than 14. Tal Williams will be down in 17-18 as well. We're going to pause this a bit, as we will see if we can update the racing line a bit. But we have to actually no, we are going to continue on what is going on right now. So Aquazuri is now currently a provisional pole sitter. 14 cars have yet to finish their laps here. Raymar Rosales is also out as well, potentially due to a flip. Well, we'll see what happened to Raymar Rosales. Now he's just in the pits. So as it stands, Aquazuri will start on pole position for Ozar Subaru in car number 48, and she actually manages to improve on her time here, and it looks to me that she might actually improve here as well, as she now comes across the final corner to see if she's able to score what is going to be a solid pole position, but she isn't fast enough, but she is still the fastest of anyone so far. Gibbons will be her foil coming into, well, coming into race 2. Reba as well, also looking to make things happen. Hal Williams now gets himself a bit of a comeback. He's now up into 13th. And it looks to me that should be all of the laps here. Kamina Reba stays in 5th. And that seals it. Aquazuri is your pole sitter for the Okayama Grand Prix Zako Cup Race 2. Right. So let's take a look at the starting lineup here for Race 2 of the Zako Cup Okayama Grand Prix. Aquazuri is your pole sitter. Lining up alongside her will be Calvin Gibbons in 2nd place, looking for his first win for Roboco in 2 years. Chaka Labradors is going to try to bring his first win for Matsuri for his first win in aero competitions as well. Raymar Rosales will start alongside him in 4th place. Kaminai Reba in 5th alongside... Anyways, we also have Kaminai Reba, Lexi Boa lining alongside each other in row 3. Kaczynski and Damashnev representing Yuzuki Choko and Aki Rosa will start 7th and 8th. Mikolev in 9th place with Jeff Rohan in 10th. Now we also have Mamadou CM 11 for Omar Polka with Irie Nakamura 12 for Hachama. Tal Williams will start 13th for Kanata alongside Sean Go, 14th for Ridika. Dak Patterson will start 15th for Vino Chaya with 16th Ryu for Isake Riona. 17th place will go to Hanami Kiriko for Himamori Luna with Rudy 18th for Mizamiyasu. And riding out the final 2 cars on the grid, Hofumi for Tokino Sora and Joey in 20th for Jufute Raden. Alright, so we will see as to how these cars are going to fare, as we are going to get the cars underway here in Okayama Circuit for race 2 of the Okayama Grand Prix Zako Cup race. Is Aquazuri on pole position, Callie Gibbons in 2nd. The drivers are now go for race 2. And it's a pretty decent launch there from Azuri. Manages to stay ahead of Callie Gibbons in this crucial juncture. And now we are seeing lots of drivers trying to make their way, trying to make positions here. As now we see Labrador's now going around the outside, making a move against Callie Gibbons for second. And that's a great move for Labrador's to stay around the outside. As Azuri now leaves Labrador's, Gibbons in third, Rosales fourth. Caminera Riba tries to chase Lexi Bowen for fifth place. Tomashev is in seventh, now almost under pressure from Raj Kaczynski, Mikhailov ninth, and Rohan runs out of the top 10. Riba trying to go around the outside of Lexi Bowen as Raymar Rosales goes off, and that's a massive pileup here into turn one. That's a massive pileup here, and unfortunately it involves the defending race winner Tyler Williams. And here is what happened at the hairpin. Tyler Williams hit the curve way too hard, flips into the middle of the track, and that is him out of this race. And there's a massive spin by Lexi Bowen, and there's a massive pileup here, which involves Vlaza Domashnev and Lexi Bowen and Rajan Kaczynski. And Jeff Rohan also out of this race as well. So more cars out, and we'll see what happened here. Here's what happened. It's essentially, so we got two incidents happening at once here. First, it is actually Vlaza Domashnev losing the rear and then slamming into Rajan Kaczynski. I just wanted to see what happened here. So, and then we also have the likes of Jeff Rohan going off, and also I believe that was Hanami Kiriko? We'll see what happened to Jeff Rohan. Yep. Also going off was Irie Nakamura, and that was a massive mistake there from Rohan. We'll see what we'll see in the onboards. Oh, tries to catch the car, almost thinks that he lost the rear, and that was a massive mistake on his end. Same goes for Vlaza Domashnev. He essentially counter steered the car, thinking that he was in a spin. Collects Rajan Kaczynski as well, and Lexi Bowen was also involved as well. So Lexi Bowen side by side with, and also Lexi Bowen had a counter steering moment as well. Collects Rajan Kaczynski too. So already we lost 5 cars after turn 1, after the first lap. Aqua Azuri now leads lap 2. What a interesting race though. Whew. And now Kiriko up in 11th, trying to fight Rudy this time. Going around the outside she goes, and she sticks it for now. How she fares here, as she is getting very close there to Shango right now in 10th place. And we also got Ryu chasing Maverick 2CM, but they have a pretty bigger gap, a much bigger gap, so we're not going to be talking about that for now. Missouri is this gap to Labradors, now under a second, as Labradors is going to try to challenge. So we've already lost Vlaza Domashnev, Tyler Williams, Rajan Kaczynski, and then Lexi Bowen, and then we also lost Jeff Rohan. And what hurts is that Domashnev and Jeff Rohan will end up with no points at Okayama. So a massive shame. security code is trying to see if she can get something done against Sean Go. Insane carnage, back to stream rolling. Well, Aquazuri, that's what Aquazuri is saying right now as she continues to lead the pack. Continue to maintain the gap to Labradores. The gap is only at a second, so that is a lot of positivity from the Ozora Subaru driver. Speaking of which, Count Gibbons now against Kamine Reba and Isakaiji Mikolev. All 15 drivers remaining this race are now guaranteed to score a single point now. Missouri fastest lap, 1:16.730. Continues to pull away from Labradores. Ray Marzal is now chasing his fellow Filipino mate, Chaka, running in second place. And then we also have Kamine Reba against Count Gibbons as he gets chased by Isakaji Mikolev. Mikolev's going to go down the inside, potentially. And now we will see though Mikolev trying to see if he can make a move, go for a late dive bomb, and the answer is going to be yes. Mikolev is absolutely pushing the curbs there, despite the directions to not to, as caused a bit of a decent amount of rollovers already. So we still have much of these races still to be hosted. Now Mikolev trying to Alright, so Gibbons on his defensive run against Reba and Mikolev, who are really hot on Gibbons' heels right now. So 4 laps complete, so we're essentially finished 10% of the distance. So we now have 4 laps complete, and Azuri still in command. Really. He's doing a very good job to remain consistent though. He does need to get into the top 5 though if he wants to absolutely mark his championship credentials. So Aqua Azuri, Chaka Labradores, and Ray Marzales have scored fewer than 8 points between each of them in the last race. So it will be on target to make some upsets. Also, we have Nakamura, who is currently now up into 7th, so she is in a almost guaranteed position to take this championship lead away from Tyler Williams. Charging against Duciem as Rudy and Dak Patterson go side by side between the two. Right as Fumi and Rudy. Fumi trying to line up a move against Rudy down the inside, but Rudy needs to know that he needs to keep his line tidy, and that is what he's been doing right now. But that will almost open the door for Rudy to defend on the inside, but the outside line of Roman Piper is just very good. But a bad exit from Hofumi essentially undoes it. As Patterson and Joey now also get into their own battles here. Joey now up into 14th place against Dak Patterson. Side by side, they both go into Okay, so Chaka Labradores against Aqua Azuri for this race lead. And Labradores has been getting insanely close into Azuri's gap. Azuri has not won in aero competitions just yet. Already has a few experiences racing in aero. Of course, participated in the All for One weekend last weekend. And Chaka Labradores, who is basically has taken over from Johan Silva, but demonstrating has not won in formal Hololive Japan yet. Well, Azuri is not really steamrolling right now, as Labradores is currently breathing down her neck. So Mykolaiv and Reba already pitted, and it looks to me that it's more than meets the eye though. So if you want to know what happened between the two, here is what happened, and that is essentially both cars spinning themselves out in the gravel trap. We'll see another angle of that. So this Kamen Reba are just going down the inside on Isakaji Mykolaiv, and both pirouetting with each other. Here's another angle. And I think Mykolaiv will be getting the 4 points. Reba will only get just the 1. This will mostly help those who have, well, Kamen Reba will get a single point. Mykolaiv will only get 4 points. So that is that. So we still have 13 cars remaining. Labrador is now making some progress now to find alternate methods to pass Azuri, who is currently controlling this race right now. Now you can see here Labrador's last lap to Azuri. Labrador's is only slightly faster. It's a 1:18.3 for Labrador's. Azuri 1:18.5. So Azuri is now very much under pressure now against Labrador's. Labrador's now goes down the inside against Azuri. Azuri will now have a very good exit though off of Atwood as they now coming across the backstretch. Coming into the hairpin corner, Azuri needs to be tidy with her lines around the outside to maintain her line and to stay ahead. And there's contact between the two. Azuri was actually rubbing there on Labrador's on Labrador's left rear, and that allowed Azuri to force Labrador's into an understeering moment. Force Labrador to give her more space, and that is Azuri maintaining the lead. That's some interesting way to keep yourself in first place right now. Alright. So we still have much of this race to go. With 10 laps already complete. Labradorus is not giving up on his battle against Aqua Azuri. Dak Patterson is already into White Knight. Azuri is in the hair pit, is in Atwood Curve already forcing Labradorus to go onto a not so desirable line to keep himself on the track. About mental gymnastics right now. I'm trying to do the stream. But anyways, Nakamura is now in 5th place after Michael Evan Ribas' excursions off the track. Really far behind Maverick DCM this time. They're still pretty much inseparable. Naomi Kiriko will at the very least score more valuable points here. Even though she's still behind Nakamura. Right, what is next? Let me see, Labradorus is still getting very close there. Cal Gibbons has already made the pass on to Ri Liu. DCM also dropping down as well. Zako Labradorus, meanwhile, still on the hunt against Aqua Azuri. Meanwhile, here comes DCM down the inside on Ri Liu. There he goes. Ri Liu tries to force a move onto Cal Gibbons, and now Cal Gibbons is now going to be forced to defend around the outside. And what an aggressive move that was from Ri Liu to steal that position away from Cal Gibbons. Now Ri Liu's up into 5th place. Whew. It's an interesting move. So we now have Labradorus going to go for round 3 against Aqua Azuri this time. Already nearly 1/3 of this race already coming to an end. Labradorus now trying to make one down the inside as Dak Patterson gets overtaken by Joey. Actually, Dak Patterson was trying to move against Joey earlier at that time to get himself into 12, but he is at the very least doing something. Labradorus, meanwhile, is trying to find a way to make the pass onto and now Labradorus is going to have a decent exit though. See if he can line up a move against Azuri, but he is not alongside. The exit's not good enough. So it's going to be reset again. Joey now trying to see if he's able to line up a move against Hofumi this time, but his approach has been pretty off there, and now with his offline, that Patterson might just be able to take advantage of it. And will Patterson think of a move down the inside? And the answer is gonna be no. Labrador is still trying to find a way past Missouri. GCM and Kiriko now on their own battles here as they now catch up with Cal Gibbons, who's only losing pace. So we are now coming into the end of this first third of this race. Kiriko now trying to see if she can get into the top 5 once again. Nakamura is now up into 4th. It's going to be a great start from her, finishing 2nd and 4th here in Okayama to almost immediately take the championship lead. As you can see here, DCM is going to line up a move against Callum Gibbons there. And as you can see here from Kiriko's on board, UCM is already in the inside line. Gibbons on the outside. UCM having a slightly better exit. He's going to go alongside. He's going to be ahead by turn in. Gibbons is going to try to find as much room as possible on the outside line, and that he does, maintaining a side-by-side action coming into Revolver and Piper, and that, but it'll still be DCM up into 6th place. Labradorist now is going to try again onto Aqua Azuri. They have been battling out for almost the entire race though. Labradorist took the lead initially after the first lap though, but Azuri managed to fight back with a switchback move to essentially get herself back in front. Azuri still proving herself to be a solid defensive driver. Labrador is trying to find as many avenues as he can to make a move down the inside or the outside, anywhere to get himself into the lead. And what Azuri is doing is that they're just blocking the ideal lines and forces Labradorist to go the long way. Right. So 17 laps will be complete. Labradorist will stay ahead right now. Alright, let me see. Right, so Kiriko now getting close to Callum Gibbons. Both Luna and Roboco actually perform alongside each other during Luna and Roboco actually perform each other alongside each other in the 2022 Roboco birthday stream. So yeah, so Aquazuri hasn't been dead just yet. Even though Chaka Labradors is providing some serious amounts of competition. Meanwhile, Hofumi against Rudy is just forming. Joey Patterson not far behind as well. Kiriko and Gibbons in a battle for 7th place. Alright, so 4/10 of a second, not 3/10 of a second between the leaders. Right, 19 laps complete, and we still have Missouri still in this lead. Alright, so Aquazuri, if she does win, will only grab like 200 points in... Well, she'll only get 200 points. And at most she will be tied... At most she will be tied alongside Tyler Williams and still lose out to Nakamura, given the current running order at the moment. Tyler Gibbons is too far behind, same goes for Kanami Kiriko to challenge the championship lead that Nakamura currently has. So Dak Patterson is currently into turn 1, Azuri is currently at hops. So the talk of lap car is actually coming pretty soon, so you might want to pay attention to that. I think we said that enough, so. And we are now coming to the halfway stage. The battles are currently brewing now. Rudy, Fumi, Joey, and Patterson will be led by Aquazuri and Chaka Labradores. Just a reminder that they are currently in Redmond and Hobbs. Azuri and Labradores are currently exited Atwood. It might not be until the end of this race until we will see some lap car action. Still trying to keep herself forward. Right, so DCM still chasing Liu, who's actually having a very good run so far this race, compared to last race where his pace-wise he's essentially a back marker. Is going to try again. You can see here, his exit is actually very, very good compared to Azuri. Azuri is actually struggling on the exit speed. And Labrador is actually faster on that last lap, but he just hasn't been able to find enough pace to overtake Azuri. Right, so I'm gonna take a slight break, actually. I am getting... Right, so, anyways, we're gonna take a short break. So I will be off the commentary right now for at least 2 laps. So that being said, do take care while I essentially... I'll be taking a slight break. I will be back in around lap 24 or 25, so don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere and stay tuned and enjoy this battle for the race lead. Right back at Okayama, and we are still seeing the same. We are still seeing the same status quo right now as far as Labrador's and Azuri goes. As I mentioned multiple times already, Azuri's defensive acumen is something to behold right now in this race. She has been able to continue to defend Labrador's charge while also remaining very fast herself. So that is something of a high quality that we are absolutely very happy to see, especially for Azuri, who only joined the competition not long ago. That kind of said, it's straight. Azuri is coming into Redmond and Hobbs, so the lap car shenanigans will come again soon. Meanwhile, now in 4th place as she tries to get herself into Raymond Gonzalez, who is also doing a very good job right now in race 2, from not being scored into the outside points. And now we have UCM and Mitja going side by side here. UCM now going around the outside against Liu there, and Redmond and Hobbs to get himself into the top 5. What a drive that has been from UCM right now, from essentially 11th to 5th, and that is true on-track overtakes alone. Well, most of the time, but you get the idea. Matching their lap times here. Shango now trying to find a way past Kiriko as well. Anderson on Joey also between them. As Kiriko and Gibbons go side by side. Kiriko's going to try to make a move down around the outside. Gibbons at Redmond and Hobbs here, and I think Kiriko has made the move to stick. And Kiriko's now up into 7th. Right, so Labrador is still trying to find a way past Aqua Azuri after 25 laps. It's still pretty much a stalemate between the two, and that is exactly what Azuri wants. Labradorus piling on pressure onto Missouri as it stands. And now Labradorus seeing if he can get close enough on that corner, but he's just not close enough. And now with 20. Alright, I think he's not getting anywhere at the moment there. Missouri Labradorus has been a class above the rest. Even Rainbow Gonzalez has been able to catch up. Shango, meanwhile, in 9th place against Callum Gibbons in 8th. Dak Patterson and Joey making contact between each other at the hairpin. Both of them still pointing in the right direction. Joey and Dak Patterson though going side by side. Dak Patterson trying to go around the outside, but Joey manages to block him off. But that's resulting in having a bad exit. Dak Patterson is now going to go down the inside at the Redmond corner and now into Hobbs. Dak is still around the outside trying to get a good exit, and he does get a good exit. And they now come into Mike Knight. And there's a bad exit from Joey. Dak Patterson had to back off there, but it was a risky move that was well taken by Joey. As he now stays in 12 right now, but not before Dak Patterson tries to go down the inside. 26 laps now complete. Alright, so we're gonna go for another break, maybe around 5 to 6 minutes, so don't go anywhere, stay tuned, and we will see how Azuri and Labrador still goes. Right, so we're going to continue on with what has been an interesting race so far here in race 2 of the Okayama Grand Prix. We still have Missouri maintaining the lead over Labradorus. Kiriko now up into 7th, trying to chase Ryu in 6th place. Let's see what's next. Rudy have now pulled away against Hofumi. Hofumi stays in 11th, Joey and Patterson in 12th and 13th. Gibbons and Shango looking to go on about each other as well. Kiriko now chasing Ryu for 6th place. Kiriko now trying to have a great exit off of turn 2, and now coming into into Atwood, and right now Kiriko is maintaining a tidy line, and that's a great maneuver here to her to get into 6 though. They really tried to defend, but found out that it's not just worth it though. Kiriko meanwhile is still pretty much in trouble though, because really actually has the outside line, but the inside line might just be what Kiriko needs to be, but she's straddled her way too aggressively, and that will cause her to lose time. So Kiriko will now have to try again against the Ryu. He's currently doing a very good job running in 6. While Labradores against Azuri, still 5/10 separating between each other. They've not been separated by over a second for the entire race right now. And it is pretty much a very solid battle here at the moment, as Kiriko might want to try again onto Ryu. Kiriko really trying to chase Ryu down. You can see here Kiriko really trying to pile on the pressure on, and Joey and Dak Patterson coming to trade place with Joey now because of the move around the outside, but that his line's been compromised. Dak Patterson not trying to fight back. And down the inside he goes as Azuri and Labradors now almost catch up to lap cars. Dak Patterson is also going to make a move down the inside against Tofu Mi. Dak Patterson is going to go around the outside to make the pass on both of them. Dak Patterson is almost into 11. He goes off wide just a bit. But I think he's just able to stay in 11 just in time, because the lap cars are currently ready to break up this lap car battle. Azuri meanwhile is gonna need to keep her wits about it, and she is looking to see if her skills of passing lap cars has been honed to perfection or not, because Azuri is going to see if she's able to read what's coming of these cars. Having a very great exit off of turn 2, which is essentially the Williams corner. And around the outside though, or around the inside though, goes Chaka Labradors though, trying to make a move down the inside against Aqua Azuri. Azuri's been caught lacking though, trying to make the pass on to Joey. And now Azuri's going to be ready to fight back. They're still both alongside. It might be 3 wide into the hairpin. Azuri stays around the outside, and Labradors is going to hang around the inside. This is the lead lap battle that we're looking for. Labradors is absolutely smelling that race lead, and he's taken it. Labradors now leads race 2 of the Okayama Grand Prix Zako Cup race. And now is a good thing coming for Labrador as well, as Joe is looking to pass Joey, but he needs to be careful to execute this correctly, otherwise he's going to open the door to Aqua Azuri once again. And that's a very poor exit though from Chaka Labradores. That's going to open the door for Azuri to make the pass onto him. Labradores needs to think about at least getting a great run around the outside, and that's what he's doing right now. He is currently maintaining his race lead. Raymar Rosales now has the fastest lap of the race, and he is currently on the hunt for this battle for the top 2 positions. Gap drop down to 7.7 seconds. And now Labradorus, not having a great exit, gets slightly blocked there by Joey. And now Azuri is going to fight back once again. And going down the inside goes Shaka Labradorus, but he takes the curve way too much. And he doesn't get to pass Joey. And Azuri is still hunting down the gap. And Labrador doesn't have a good exit off of Piper, and that's gonna give Azuri the lead. And now Azuri is going to absolutely gun it against Joey. It was a great battle though between Azuri and Labradorus, but it has now come down to this. With Labradorus still being stuck behind lap cars, Azuri's gonna pull away. Laps complete. Of course, Azuri now pulling away against Chaka Labradorus right now, and Chaka has already made the, I believe, already made the pass on to Joey. Yes, already made the pass, and Ray Rosales too. Actually, Joey's now officially a lap down. So back in business for Azuri right now, and she continues to control her pace in the lead, but now she has to deal with another lap car, hopefully, and Dak Patterson. We're now at 5:19 p.m. in Japan. Azuri is still. Let's see if she might be able to stay up there. There's not long left in this race now. It is at least less chaotic than what we saw in race 1. Although we had a in lap 1 alone. Labradorus is catching up slowly to Azuri right now. So I wouldn't basically be canceling hope for a win just yet. I wouldn't be confident about this win just yet. See here, Labradorus already is a second lap faster than Azuri on that last lap. As we are then looking to make a comeback, as Labradorus is going to try to bring himself back into contention against Aqua Azuri. And also hunting for that top 2 spots here. The gap dropped down to 3.8 seconds. Labradorus' gap to Azuri dropping down to 1.1 seconds. There's less than 6 laps to go. Azuri, will he be getting there? We will see. As you see, Azuri saw Fumi understeering. now dropped down to less than a second. Labrador is now getting into 5/10 of a second. Gonzalez 3.4 seconds behind. Alright, so we got Labradorist now seeing if he's able to get something done as Azuri is going to trying to go around the outside of Hofumi. Azuri trying to force her way down the inside. The answer might be yes, but I don't think she's able to land that exit. And right now it's not gone in tears. But Azuri is going to have a hard time though. Oh, it is a massive slam. It is a big choke from Chaka Labradoris. He lost the rear. He lost the rear at the final corner trying to chase Mark Rosales, and what was supposed to be a great time for him is now going to be his undoing. Iron Nakamura goes up into third. Rosales now up into second. Aqua Azuri looking to bring home the 200 points here. Rosales is at least able to stay in second for now. Nakamura, with a very consistent run, will be the runaway championship leader. My goodness! But it's not over yet. She's not out of the woods. Because remember, Raymar Rosales is still chasing Aqua Azuri. It could still be Raymar Rosales'. UCM also having a very good time here in Okayama, bringing home another 130 points with him being informed. Hanami Kiriko will bring home her second consecutive top 5 finish. As it stands, Ryu will be in 6th. Shango is set to finish in 7th place. And man, we are... man, what a race that's been. But anyways, Gibbons 8th as it stands right now. And then Rudy in 9th. And then 10th place going to Dak Patterson, who continues to survive and survive. And then we got Kofumi down in 11th and Joey in 12th. We got our 15 points scores, point scorers recorded. We still have much of this, don't have a lot of this race to go. Aqua Azuri also not finding pace though against these lap cars. These lap cars already pulling on the pace. Comparable to the leaders now, so Azuri is not being able to catch, might not be able to catch them. Raymar Rosales though is on the hunt. Lap 41. Penultimate lap of race 2 of the Zako Cup Okayama Grand Prix. Azuri just needs to bring it home after Labrador's choke, which essentially would only would guarantee him 8 points at the very least in the standings. It would now be Azuri versus Raymar Rosales though, because Raymar Rosales is currently lining up a move down the inside. And right now he's getting very close. He needs to make this move work. He needs to get it done now because he's running out of time. And you see Azuri continues to brake and accelerate at just the right time to not allow Rosales to chase. And Rainer Rosales might think of a last lap dive bomb down the inside to deny Azuri her first win in aero competitions and to bring home Subaru's first win in Formula Hololive since 2024. The final lap is flying right now here in the evening sun here in Okayama. The sun is setting, and so does this race. Roman Rosales has one more shot before the lights go out here in Okayama, and still it is Azuri with the advantage. And right now, Azuri needs to just take it easy, but Raymar Rosales has a pretty decent exit though, but I think it is too little too late and too far for Rosales to think of anything against Azuri unless a very late dive bomb happens or a big mistake happens. And right now we are seeing how Azuri manages to tackle it. Aqua Azuri, who have made an electrifying debut so far, has won Invitational Race 2 at Watkins Glen in the all-for-one 200 minutes at Glen. And now back in Japan for her first competitive races in 88 ARO. It only takes her 2 competitive starts for her to bring home her first win in ARO competitions. Move over Rim Olgor. There's a new Sumatomo in town. It's Aqua Azuri taking a win in race 2 of the Zako Cup Okayama Grand Prix. Denying the charge from Chaka Labradorus forced Chaka into a choke. And defending Raymar Rosales right at the end. Take a bow to this driver, Aqua Azuri. Holy smoke, that was an amazing win. Nakamura brings home third to retain her championship lead, coming to 4 races to go here in the Zako Cup. Dusian finishes 4th. Kiriko will finish a respectable 5th. A decent momentum heading into the new season next year. Ryu will be set to finish in 6th place. Shango 7th. Gibbons 8th. Rudy 9th. Dak Patterson 8th. Fumi in 11th. Joe will be set to finish 12th. 1 lap down. What a win that was for the Subatomo. Gibbons doesn't manage to beat Shango right at the line. Rudy will be set to finish 9th. Patterson and then Ho Fumi will be the next drivers across the line. As we now see the drivers crossing the line, we will make it official. Aqua Azuri, your winner here in race 2 of the Okayama Grand Prix Zako Cup race. Raymar Rosales finishes 2nd, and then we also have Ira Nakamura 3rd for Hachama, by which, based on my calculations, will retain her championship lead. Duciem 4th, and then we also have 5th for Kiriko. Rilu 6th for Riona, and then 7th place Shango, and then Cal Gibbons 8th for Roboco, Rudy 9th for Sue, and Dak Patterson 10th for Rindo Chaya. Hofumi finishes 11th for Sora, with Joey 12th for Raden. Chaka Labrador is your first driver who retired from this race, trying to chase Aqua Azuri in for the lead, but bottled his chances, so he's down in 13th. Kamina Riba 14th for Shiro Bota, Isagaji Mikola 15th for Sakaramiko, the last of your points finishers. Lexi Bowen 16th for Lexi Bowen 16th, Raji Kaczynski 17th, Tomashev 18th, Jeff Rohan 19th, and Tyler Williams in 20th place. They all were involved in lap 1 incidents. Right, as we're going to save this replay, let's take a look into the championship standings one more time before we end the stream properly. And based on the standings here, we are going to confirm to you that Nakamura has a very big gap here over Hanami Kiriko, who's currently in 2nd place in the Zako Cup standings. Mavridusiam 3rd for Polka, with Cal Gibbons 4th for Roboco. Aqua Azuri 5th for Subaru, with 6th place Tyler Williams in 6th. Shango is the highest device class driver in 7th place, with Raymar Rosales 8th. Second Riona 9th with Riliu, and Dak Patterson rounds out the top 10. Rudy in 11th for Raji Kaczynski 12th, Joey 13th, Hofumi 14th, Isagaji Mikola 15th. 16th goes to Chaka Labradores. Lexi Bo and Kamina Riba are drawn for 17th and 18th. But I think Lexi Bo will beat the tie. And then we got Jeff Rohan and Vlasa Domashnev rounding up the field, as they both have went 0 for 0, 0 for 2 here in Okayama. And with that being said, that should be all for today and the Zako Cup. The Axolotl is the winner here. Congratulations for Aquazer for winning race 2 and Tyler Wins for winning race 1. So that is that. So we're just going to confirm to the thing if we are able to grab the race results or not. And I don't think we are able to grab the race results. Yeah, so we are going to have to manually write this one. So have a good night to those who are in the States and in the Americas as well. And have a good day to everyone. I hope you enjoyed the stream. My name is Bonca in the commentary booth. We'll see you tomorrow for the CEO Cup race here in the Okayama Grand Prix. We'll see you there then, and take care, everyone.